Hello, and welcome to the Wellness Parenting Revolution, where we're turning the sickest generation of kids into the healthiest. I'm your host, Dr. Teri Warner, along with my husband and co host, Dr. Stu Warner. And we have a really interesting topic and guest here with us today. So, you guys are really going to be enlightened by what we talk about.
Yes, we're very happy to have with us today Steve McCune from Louisiana. He is the president of Intec America, and they're a large company that specializes in water treatment systems for in industries, and also a very important topic, which we hope to dive into today, is backyard pools. And, he is a wealth of information. He's a family man and a patriot, and someone that we've really come to know and really appreciate. So welcome to the show, Steve.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very happy and pleased to be part of the parenting revolution. I look forward to getting into a discussion on whatever topics that flows through today.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey from maybe exiting your education into your corporate career.
The best way I can explain is God's got an absolute sense of humor. I graduated the MBA in finance, aspirations of bringing companies public. So my background is more of a financial side. I was a biochemistry major before I got into that. Again, God had other plans. And so I worked for Morgan Stanley for a little while, got trained on Wall Street. There's a local company, it was a spinoff from the Louisiana Business Technology Center, and they were dealing with amplification. So they're making micro heat exchangers and other thermal transfer devices. So I got a chance to play in the lab a little bit, and I was handling the private sale of stock through the state blue sky laws. I did that for a little while, then I realized I did not want to deal with board of directors anymore. And so thought about it, looking for a way out, and an opportunity presented. And he was a God-fearing man, and he had a company that he was looking to pass on. And I bought half the company back in 2004, and exercised the remaining shares of stock probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And that's how I got into it. I mean, wasn't part of my plan whatsoever, but it was just an opportunity. I just kind of felt drawn to it, and it's been fantastic for my family. And just doing something that you believe in and you can help other individuals.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have lots of experts that have come on our show over the years, and we've talked about everything from nutrition to GMOs to glyphosate to EMFs and everything in between. And the one area in all this time we've never talked about, as all of our following and our patients and our associates are all concerned about improving health and wellness in our families. And we really overlook the dangers of the backyard pool. Most people don't think about the chemicals they use to try to keep their pools clean. And, there's not a mystery why we see many times in the summertime increases in respiratory issues and skin issues and even eyes because of the chlorine in the pools. Can you dive a little deeper for us into what you're seeing with the effects of chlorine?
Absolutely. And chlorine's been used for about a century, and we got to be thankful because at a point in time we were battling diseases like yellow fever and other waterborne pathogens. So it did serve its place, and you can say it's probably responsible for the life during the time probably from the early 1900s to present. But now if a company would try to go back and certify chlorine for use either by the FDA or EPA, they'll have a lot of hurdles to go through. Chlorine by itself isn't really dangerous, but it comes in contact with any type of organics. It's going to produce different disinfection byproducts like trihalomethanes, chloramines. You mentioned specifically respiratory like issues and inflammation. We'll come back to that. But all those are byproducts from chlorination itself. There are many alternatives out there, but some of them are short-lived and just really cannot be a standalone technology for chlorine. And kind of where we are today, we are fighting against the American Chemistry Association and different lobbyists for like generally regarded safe technologies, because we are limited to what we could say, what claims could be made. And it's a very expensive, it's a cost prohibitive process in order to get those registrations to make the claims that we want to make in the swimming pool industry. So I have to be very careful what terminology that I use. But chlorine, whenever it combines with these organics, like mentioned earlier, that the chloramine specifically, that's one of the reasons that we get so many clients calling us in, because they have kids suffering from asthma. Or you might have other clients that have different types of skin conditions that are irritated through the oxidation process, from chlorine itself. And copper ionization is a safe alternative to that. And shock in the swimming pools. I mean, imagine the combination. You really don't even know what's going on. So it's like swimming in Drano. But the reason we shock a swimming pool is go and break apart the combined. So you have super saturation levels of chlorines to break apart the combined chlorine and address some of the chloramine issues. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But as far as our technology, everybody says, is there a chlorine alternative? I could touch on different ones. Let's speak specifically on ionization first. It's kind of a spin-off of an NASA technology to sanitize water and for the Apollo space mission. So they did not know how chemicals were reacting in a zero gravity environment. So they're looking at electrolysis process in order to use metal ions to sanitize the water to kill back viruses, things like that. So the first system that we sold back is probably about 1973. Prototype was sold to a dentist in Baton Rouge, and the cupric ion that's produced is highly effective at attacking pretty much anything you don't want in your swimming pool. The cupric ion is positively whatever you do not want in your water, so have a negative charge to it, because the opposite polarity essentially attract to each other. But the ion is so small, it easily penetrates the cell membrane, creating cell lysis and death. So essentially inactivates algae, bacteria, viruses. So it's a very compelling technology, and used outside of swimming pools. We've used it for cooling tower applications. We've used it for wastewater treatment. We've even used it for a cation paint application after they banned lead paint that issues of biofilms. And they never ionized paint before, but evidently it's effective for ionizing paint. So it's a fantastic technology. There's no disinfection byproducts whatsoever with the ionization process of maintaining the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so important. I mean, we're using your copper ionization system now in our pool, and it's really amazing. There's no algae growth. The bacteria levels are great. The water's so clear. That's so important because, so many families don't think about the downside of the chlorine. One of the things we didn't mention is that it disrupts the microbiome, and that's of particular interest to everyone because your 75% of your immune system is developed in the gut, and your brain chemicals are also developed in the gut. And, we're seeing very prevalent issues with mental health and brain function and immune systems. And, chlorine is a contributor to that. So to have a non-toxic way to be able to, keep your pool crystal clear so your babies can swim in it is so important. So talk a little bit about how the copper ionization works.
Yes, sir. It's a kind of electrolysis process. We have an electrolytic cell that's made of highly purified copper. The cell itself will be installed line after the pool filter. And so you could retrofit on any type of swimming pool. Okay. So it doesn't have to be with a new pool build. And even if you had chlorinated pools or saltwater pools beforehand, the transition is very easy. We utilize electrical source. We're going to use a DC current to go in and produce the copper itself. Now it's important, you still have to maintain your water chemistry. This is less maintenance. It is much less expensive to maintain an ionized pool. Please understand it's up to the end user to make sure the chemistry is balanced. We do prefer to have a pH closer to neutral, 7.4, 7.2 being perfect. Just like with a traditional pool, we recommend using an acid or a base. There's many options, but the easiest is using a muriatic acid to lower pH and alkalinity, and baking soda to increase pH and alkalinity. But it's sacrificial because all the acid is a liquid hydrogen, and that's going to combine with all alkalinity, which is going to be OH, bicarbonate or carbonate or a phosphate group, and H plus OH equals H2O. So there's no residual. So you'll hear the term a chemical-free pool. I mean, you're going to use some chemicals to maintain it, but afterwards you don't have to worry about any nasty byproducts whatsoever. But the importance for any pool chemistry, doesn't matter if it's an ionized pool, a chlorinated pool, or Aquasil, soft swim. So 3 steps: pH, sanitation, and clarity. We discuss a pH and always stress that that is the most important aspect for any type of water treatment, whether we're trying to move on or treat a swimming pool. pH is most important. Second, sanitation. Chlorine is, the cupric ion is going to replace the need for chlorine. Since you're not using chlorine, you will not need a stabilizer or cyanuric acid. You will not need to shock a swimming pool. You never want to shock an ionized swimming pool. You will not need an aldehyde because copper is essentially the most effective aldehyde we have available to us on the planet. So that's a tremendous amount of savings, where a typical pool might spend $800 a year on average. That's probably 2 years ago. With inflation, which is transitory now, it's probably close to about $1,200 a year to maintain a 23,000 gallon pool. So with the transfer to our system, you're probably looking at maybe $120 a year is all you'll be spending on your maintenance, items that you need for a swimming pool. And the final aspect, of course, would be the clarity itself. And that's just a function of your current filtration system in your pool. The more often you circulate the water through the filter, the clearer it's going to be. At times, we do recommend once a week to use either some type of a mild oxidant or to use a clarifier to help maintain the clarity. So that's essentially the routine and the whole process for us maintaining an ionized swimming pool.
Well, yeah, it's super, super simple. I love that. And, it was interesting listening to you. I thought, well, that was God's plan with that biochemistry background, as you're easily seeing how everything neutralizes each other and the idea of it being chemical free. And I just love that because I know how much I care about that. And more people are coming to the realization that, from the minute they wake up in the morning till the minute they go to sleep at night, we're constantly just coating our bodies in chemicals. And I know that more and more the moms that I interact with are having this great awareness that I need to find more natural shampoos, conditioners, soaps, makeup, sunscreen, moisturizer, everything that's happening from our laundry and the detergents we're using, and how to go about that into our pool. And it's something that, so many people I think are starting to get a little awareness, and maybe they're transitioning to saltwater or doing something else, but having this as an option is just so easy and so fantastic. And I love that you can so simply transition installing the unit into a pool that was formerly something else. That was a chlorine pool.
And it was funny you mentioned that. We have so many clients that started off perhaps like filters, because like the chlorine is damaging the hair, the hard water, just my hair's not fixing right. And so it seems like it's the wife that's kind of spinning the head, to say, hey, we got to do something about this. And then after we treat the whole house water, now they're in the swimming pool, and then it kind of like hits like a ton of bricks. It's like, wait, all the chlorinous chemicals removed from my home water that I bathe in, I shower and brush my teeth in, but yet we spend hours, a week in a swimming pool. Through thermal absorption, we get all these issues. But even like with the saltwater systems, people don't understand that it's still chlorine. We're producing chlorine from the chlorides in the salt, and it's no different. The ionized water is going to have a much softer feel. Whenever you get out, you aren't going to have the chemical smell on you. Like with a saltwater pool, you get out, it's softer when you swim, but after the water dries, I call it the chloride crust. You just feel still kind of sticky and dried out. You don't have that. You feel refreshed and clean. It's wonderful. It's soft because what we're using to sanitize the pool is not attacking your cells. It's not attacking your fingernails. It's not attacking your hair, your eyes, or anything. So it's It's fantastic. We don't lose clients. Most of our sales actually come through referrals of, happy clients.
I bet
And that's how we've been in business for 50 years.
Well, I just thought it was so interesting when Stu started diving into this topic, because, more and more people are having an awareness for the water that they're drinking, for example, whether they're using some kind of filter or ionization unit or something. Better than that is what you said, doing as opposed to top of the counter or under the sink kind of for one area in the house, is doing a whole house. And certainly that's fantastic to be able to do that. But then when they spend, well, in New Jersey, we only get a few months of pool time, but all summer, or for different parts of the country, like practically year round, going in and out of the pool, so much time, especially for the most vulnerable population, which are our children. And making sure that, that they're swimming in, that's going to be absorbed into their skin. And we want to make sure and, eliminate as much of that as we can. So we were just so excited to get to know you and this product and have you share the benefits with everyone else, because it's just great.
Well, I definitely do appreciate that. I appreciate your business too.
Yep. We're going to drop a link so people can find out more about how they can look into getting a copper ionization unit for their pool, and, contact Intec America. And, one of the things we love about your company is, that your support, how much education you have, how much you care about the end user. Talk a little bit about how, when somebody goes to the website, how they'll select which copper ionization unit would be best for them, and what the follow-up steps is. How long does it take for them to receive it, and then what's the timetable for them getting knowledge to be able to use it properly?
Absolutely. Most of our sales now are coming just strictly online. You do have access to a toll-free number or a web chat to help somebody guide them and direct them to which system is best for their size swimming pool. But we do have a description next to each item to look at, which is based upon the volume of water in your swimming pool. For example, we have one system for 10,000 gallons or less. It's a CA10. The complete system is $8.95 shipped to your door. We do, charge taxes, but it's like no shipping costs associated with that. The CV50 is kind of like an old, reliable, best-selling system. That's pretty much targeted to pools 40 gallons to about 10,000 gallons. So it's kind of that in-between phase. And the CV60, so, the newest to our lineup, is really from 10,000 all the way to 60,000 gallons. It's a little bit more automated. It has a flow switch. So that way, every time your pool pump kicks on, it activates the system. It'll microdose to help maintain your copper. But if there's any time somebody has a question as far as maintenance or like which product is best, you can do a web chat, call our toll-free number. Somebody in support will guide them to the best pool system that they would have for their application. It's really that simple. And it's kind of funny. We talked a little bit earlier about the craziest in the world. Probably the most growing segment of our client base now, or as we consider it, as like the prepper crowd, whether it's be treating, like either rainwater capture, things like that. But a lot of them actually about, hey, I've got a swimming pool. What can I do in case the city water goes out or we lose electricity? Can I use my swimming pool water? So if you want to go into a deep dive, something like that, you do need to call our toll-free number and we can assist with those different scenarios. Will be the best application to treat, whatever water you might have on your property. Mm-hmm. Swimming pools is an option that can sustain a family for a very long time.
Wow. Oh my gosh. It's just clicking in what you're actually saying. Oh my goodness. That's so interesting. So I'm sure that's gonna click some light bulbs in other people's heads. Yeah.
I hope we don't have to go that route. But it is hurricane season, so.
That's right. Well, hopefully we'll avoid that, but you never know. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I just, I would jump back real quick to you were going over and you just mentioned the pricing, really so affordable, right? So, I mean, it's a little bit of an outlay in the beginning, but you know, a lot of the pool companies, if you call them up, they want you to prepay for the season or something. Anyway, you're ending up saving so much money for having such a better quality of life and product for your entire family. And I know that you mentioned to us that, you know, of it lasting several seasons as well for most people. And so, you know, it's such a great a great option to really look into. I really encourage everybody, you know, go to the website, find out, because I know y'all are so concerned about so many of the other aspects of what we can be doing on a daily basis to increase the health and potential for our children and for our families. And this is just an area that we feel like has been really overlooked. So we're so happy that you're out there and, you know, and making this available.
Is there anything else that you would like to share you want people to know about?
Oh, absolutely. Fire the pool store. Never go to the pool store again. Mm-hmm. The amount of time you spend gathering a sample, bring it to a pool store. We'll teach you how to test your own pool chemistry. All the test kits you need come with the systems itself. Be a fraction of the time, and it'll save you a substantial amount of money. You cannot put a price tag on a peace of mind. But after the initial investment, it will be a very short payback period on it. And you can't put a price tag on your health.
That's right. That's priceless. So that's amazing. Yeah, it was our patient that actually owns a longtime patient owns the pool store. And so we asked her about it. And, you know, her guy came over and it's like $100 or something. It was so like, she just did some little thing, so quick and easy, a little install with it for the electrical end that someone really capable could do themselves, I'm sure. But, you know, we thought we didn't want to mess with it. So she took care of it for us. So it was super simple, but, you know, just reiterating, like it's an inexpensive way to go for people. But haven't seen them since. So, you know, you just don't need to. So she would take care of us if we needed to, but, you know, it's a super simple process. So love that.
Well, give me your address. I'll send her a Christmas card. Yeah, but most of our clients they install the system.
Business, but
yeah, most of our clients do install the system on their own. The system is very easy to install. You got a tape measure and a hacksaw. Any do-it-yourself person will be, you know, more than capable to install it.
So everyone out there listening that, you know, is trending towards eating organic food and have air purifiers in their house, do not forget your backyard pool. Do not neglect that. You know, something maybe you only think about the opening and closing many times, and then they come and, you know, do the maintenance. But, you know, it's something that every family should make sure they have a non-toxic pool, because, you know, the kids can spend hours and hours in that pool every day for months and months at a time. So it's something that we're really going to sound the alarm on out there, because, you know, people just don't need just another assault on their immune system and on their health. So, you know, we got to think about everything that we do. So we're so happy that we got connected with you, Steve, and Intec America. And, you know, we look forward to a very fruitful relationship.
I absolutely appreciate you guys more than you could possibly know.
Very good. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I want to thank you for your time and your expertise, Steve. And together, we all need to take back our families' health and freedoms. And we'll see you all next time.
All right. Take care. God bless, guys.
Bye, everybody.